Well, the gCADPlus drawing you see here has been derived from a AutoCAD drawing file delivered to one of our users, and I've left the background at black, and I hope that you can see that when you bring a drawing from AutoCAD, you have to work with the way that the AutoCAD drafter has worked. In this instance here, it's a design for a whole group of dwellings, and there is no paper space or layout information. This particular drafter has a whole series of blocks. In fact, if you look at the blocks list, you'll see, if we go to the top here, all of these anonymous blocks there, many of them are empty. If you may be able to see lots of fine blue dots, and if I click on these light blue dots, which I imagine will be quite difficult for you to see, let me just change the background to white, and these are the tiny dots. I'm zooming in on them now, and you can see they're a block. They consist of a couple of lines and intersections and so on. I suspect they've come from a survey team. So this drawing has been through the hands of a surveyor, then in the hands of an architectural practice where probably several people have worked on it, developing some elevation views and so on. And we're left with a drawing that we bring into gCADPlus by the methods that we've suggested, which we say take a DWG file, pass it through the Teigha file converter. I've turned this one into AutoCAD Release 2000 format, which is a relatively simple format, and then I've used File and DXF tools, DXF in, and brought the file in. But there is no way I would work with a drawing as complex as this. If we just stretch our command area and type FS, the file says here's 1.8 megabytes in size. I suspect, although it's not been confirmed yet, that you could probably lift everything inside. Fortunately, we have a heading plans here, and I imagine that we could, using our crossing window, we could probably select all of the plans like so, right click and select copy to clipboard, start a brand new drawing, we'll say with no template, and paste from the clipboard and pop it in at 0,0, right click, zoom extents. You can see now a whole lot of, even though we took a crossing window through there, all of this material outside of the zone we selected has been captured and brought across to another drawing. So you can see the difficulties we face. You might be able to simplify the drawing by exploding each one of these blocks that's outside. Whenever you copy to the clipboard and paste, just use the regen. If I pick that one there, you can see it's a complex block called $C. It's an anonymous block, doesn't have a name, doesn't help us very much. It's not the way we like to work. And it's the layout for one particular house, but it's copied up here, and there it is again. So we might be able to simplify this drawing by exploding it, but I did want to illustrate that you have a great deal of trouble working with a DWG file from others. In fact, in this case, it might be simpler to take the PDF file from the architectural practice and process in a way that we described in one of our recent posts. So, not that that can help you, but it should just alert you to the fact that working with a DWG file is sometimes fraught with danger. Well, I've exploded all of the entities that seem to be outside this plans rectangle. The white crosses that you see just inside the drawing sheet come from a point marker, and we can fix that easily by going to point styles and changing the size from 3 to say 0.5, and the points now become a much more acceptable point in the design. Now, in my exploding, I think I've probably lost one of the boundaries. I can see a red boundary running through here, but even there, when you pick a boundary, can you see that in itself is a block, $C and another unnamed block. So working with this drawing is going to be really tough. We could go through all of them. There's even, almost certainly this has come from the surveyor, because that line is labelled 211 angle 51. Another thing that I did notice is that in this drawing, what the architect's doing is clearly using AutoCAD. If we pick on the word plans, it's a piece of text, it's an M text, which seems rather strange. We would suggest you use single line text, not multi-line text, when you've got a word as simple as plans. But if we click in here on the contents, can you see the content? The word plans is there, but this hieroglyphics that I'm highlighting now comes from the AutoCAD text editor, where this author of this design is using a particular font. Technic Bold he intends to use, and our AutoCAD conversion through the Teigha converter has converted that into one of these standard fonts. So once again, let's go to background color white. Here's our design. We're expected to produce landscape designs for in and around these various dwellings, and that's going to be a fairly tall order. It's going to take an awful lot of cleaning up of the drawing. So I'm not quite sure how to advise you the most efficient way to work with this, but you just need to be aware that at times AutoCAD drafters don't work in a way that's convenient to us.